Business is pleased to present the 2024 Executive Excellence Awards, recognizing the best and brightest business leaders from technology to finance and from marketing to operations. Today's event is sponsored by Webb, the Grand America Hotel, Lucid, CBiz MHM, and Edison House. And now, please welcome the publisher of Utah Business, Burke Olson.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Executive Excellence Awards. Today we'll honor outstanding business leaders, champions of the C-suite, who are crucial to keeping their businesses running. Now, everyone in this room knows that we live in a unique state. There's a lot to love about living in Utah, and we keep receiving national accolades. They just keep coming. Last month, we were named the #1 state in the U.S. again, the very best out of all the 50 Nifty. And among many business and economic designations that we've received so far just this year, we also were named in separate honors the best economic outlook, the best state in which to start a business, the best for social mobility in the nation, meaning Utah is the best place to achieve the American dream. The honorees that we celebrate today and the organizations they support are key contributors to all of these recognitions. The outstanding executives being honored today span different titles and come from a variety of industries. They oversee day-to-day operations, keep all the important finances in order. They handle branding, product development, marketing, and whatever else it takes to make a 21st century business thrive. During today's program, we'll learn more about these accomplished professionals and learn why they are key to the success of their organizations. Now, I want to thank our sponsors who've helped make this event possible. Webb, our presenting sponsor, Lucid, the Grand America Hotel, Edison House, who sponsored our beautiful VIP reception, and finally, CBiz MHM, our photo and video sponsor. Would you join me in clapping for them and thanking them? Thank you. Webb is a full-service event production company, and every one of their events begins with a vision, and then they work together to bring out the best in technology, creative, and staging to create a brand experience unlike any other. Whether virtual or live, Webb is one of the most creative and innovative event companies in the market. We're grateful to work with them on a regular basis. Rather than say more, let's show you exactly who they are. Now, please welcome to the stage Melanie Robinson, CEO of Webb.
Hello. What an honor to be here today to celebrate some of the amazing leaders that are part of our local community. At Webb, we often work with leaders and we get to hear their message on a grand stage in front of hundreds or thousands of attendees in a very rehearsed speech, working from a carefully curated deck, and we see the power that message has on a room full of people and the energy it can create, and it's truly phenomenal to be part of that on a regular basis. But the people that are here today, and the reason that you've been recognized is probably not for moments on stage, but more so for quiet moments and impact that you've made on your team when only a handful of people are watching, maybe even in a one-on-one. Your team nominated you for the power of those moments when you're not being watched by everyone, for the difficult decisions, for the tough conversations, for the development paths, for all the things you do that don't always get recognized. So what a pleasure to be here today to recognize you publicly and let you come up on stage and get some acknowledgement for all the hard work that you do behind the scenes. Congratulations to all the nominees.
Thank you, Melanie. Now, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our MC for today's program, my colleague, Utah Business Editor-in-Chief, and another Melanie, Melanie Jones.
You can never have too many Melanies, I guess. Thank you, Burke. So grateful that you're here today to help us celebrate these stars from Utah's business community. Utah Business fosters connection, insight, and recognition for Utah's thriving professional community. Through a magazine, daily newsletter, events, and awards programs, Utah Business highlights the ideas, innovations, and people behind Utah business successes. We are all in on Utah, and we can't wait to tell your stories. Stories like those you'll hear today. When Utah Business first began this awards program in 2008, it was focused solely on chief financial officers. And that didn't change until 2014 when we expanded it to include all C-level officers except for the CEO. They get their own awards program. This change reflects a trend in the accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers found in its nearly 2 decades of surveying CEOs across the globe. In preparing to launch its 20th annual CEO survey, PwC noted that the C-suite has significantly grown in size since 1998. Back in those days, a typical C-suite included a CEO, a CFO, and a COO. That's it. By the mid-2000s, the typical C-suite in a large business had grown to include almost 10 members. Why did this happen? PwC believes it's due to a rapidly evolving business climate that is constantly hit by waves of tech disruption and expanding global trade. This near-constant disruption leads companies to recruit experts to help them navigate these choppy waters. PwC predicts that we'll see even more chief officer titles at the boardroom table in the next few years. Look for roles like Chief Privacy Officer, Chief Compliance Officer, Chief Sustainability Officer, and Chief Data Officer. All of our honorees today have been successful in leading their teams through challenges toward a shared vision of success. Each of them contributes their expertise and their vision to the C-suite. On behalf of Utah Business, we celebrate each of these outstanding executives who are so vital to the evolution and growth of their companies. We are now pleased to move to the recognition part of today's program. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
The most important thing for me when looking and guiding as a manager is making sure that you find the right person that is driven and wants to have an impact, and then empowering them by providing support and guidance, not so much as management, but allowing them to kind of be free to make the best decisions as they see fit, and course correcting as they make, maybe minor missteps, but that allows them to develop as a person and an employee. When I started with PAC 6 years ago, it was a small business, and now we just listed on the New York Stock Exchange last month. We had the largest healthcare IPO in Utah history, raised over $500 million, and the company today is valued at $4.5 billion. And I think that was a long road to get there. Healthcare IPOs are much different than the tech space. The investor community is limited, and really building the brand and also building the balance sheet with time and patience and having the right people to support me, that's the biggest achievement of my career.
Our first honoree led his company from $500 million in revenue during 2020 to $3.2 billion just 3 years later in 2023. Accepting the award on behalf of Derek Apt, please give a warm welcome to the Vice President of Corporate Communications with PACS, Brooke Stevenson.
My leadership philosophy is one of advocating for my people. Making sure that we are achieving our KPIs, but also doing it in the right way. One of my most significant achievements, I believe, is this role. There's not many female-led CFOs in the industry, let alone in a lot of places. And so I feel like this is one of the greatest achievements that I've ever accomplished. What's next for me, I think, is developing a really strong future plan. There's a lot of growth on the horizon. And so how do we do that in the right way that's sustainable and achieves a lot of our goals? My advice on mentorship is it's critical for any person in the profession. You should find a mentor, and also through your career, you should mentor others. I actually had a training once, and I love this saying where, especially as a female executive, your arm should be very tired. You should be reaching up to that female ahead of you that's mentoring you and guiding you up, but you should also be pulling someone behind you, and I think about that quite often.
Our next honoree oversaw the transition from a partner-led model to a governance structure with a board of directors, resulting in enhanced decision-making processes, optimal stewardship, and streamlined operations. Congratulations and welcome to the stage, Crystal Bush, CFO of Tanner.
I believe the best way to a successful team and my strategic plan is to include all of the people that are hands-on really doing the job. So my engagement philosophy is to include everything I can. I feel like I am a tool and a resource for them, and I engage them and bring them into everything that we're doing, because it's them that I have to be there for and strengthen so they have the ability to then do their jobs. There's so many things that excite me about the career. We're in an interesting time politically and professionally and also in the industry, but specifically at Zions Bank Private Banking, I believe we have an opportunity for growth. We have so many wonderful things that we can educate and teach our community and to teach our clients. And I'm excited and look forward to potential growth. I'm also excited to continually have a lot of relationships with nonprofits and to be able to expand those relationships, not only to me, but also to others that have that philanthropic energy in them that want to contribute in a different way.
Our next honoree oversees a team of 52 bankers. Together, they manage a portfolio of $3.1 billion in deposits and $229 billion in loan commitments. Please give a big round of applause to the EVP and Director of Private Banking for Zions Bank, Stephanie Horn-Clark.
One of the philosophies I've had for a long time in business is I want to build a business, not a practice. It's not about me. It's about the organization. It's about the people and trusting them. It's about giving them the tools and letting them come up with the solutions and implement those, because I can't do every part of a business. I can't be every part of the business, and I rely on people to come up with the best solutions. I've got ideas, I've got inspiration, but really it's the people that are down in the trenches that are doing the work that have the best insights. And by combining what they bring to the table with what I believe and what my partners believe, we're able to come up with what I would call a 3D solution. It's not just a single perspective, a single solution. I believe in my people and I try to find the best in them. I've got a lot of things in my life that I feel like I'm not as good at as other people, but I've had a lot of good mentors, people that have trusted me and let me grow and learn through my weaknesses and my challenges, and I think that other people deserve to do as well.
Our next honoree has been a leader in internet connectivity since 1994. He guided a plan for his company to install its own fiber network in Monroe and Annabella, Utah, at no cost to taxpaying Utahns. He is working to bring high-speed fiber lines to more rural sections of Utah with coverage spanning from Sevier County down to St. George. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Randy Cosby, COO of InfoWest.
One of the challenges that I have faced in business is one that is common to many women, and that was not being taken seriously as a woman. When I first became a CEO, having people in the room have the conversations with the men around me and not with me directly. And I've always had to work extra hard, and I feel like that work pays off, and I'm really looking forward to a day where women have equal footing in business as men. Looking forward to the future, I work for an amazing organization, Best Friends Animal Society, and we are truly on a mission to change the world for animals. And to begin with, that means completely changing the animal sheltering system as we know it. Right now, 62% of all of our shelters in the United States are no-kill, which means they're not killing animals whose lives can be saved. And we are working really hard to get to no-kill by the end of this year in Utah, and for the entire country at the end of next year. And that is something really excited to look forward to.
Our next honoree concepted a groundbreaking resource-based animal shelter program that quickly places animals in foster homes. She leverages her organization's AI-powered analytics to create sophisticated categorization systems. And lastly, she entered into an owner partnership of Southern Utah News, preventing the loss of Kane County's only local newspaper. Please give a warm welcome to Best Friends Animal Society's Senior Advisor of Strategy and Integration, Susan Cosby.
When I think about mentorship, and obviously this is apart from many formal arrangements, first of all, I always believe that no one cares as much about your development as you do. So everyone really needs to own their own development. But beyond that, I feel that mentorship should be a little more specific than general. In other words, it's not enough just to go up to somebody and say, tell me how to do what you do, or tell me how you are successful, because in the long run, that's just trying to be a better version of them instead of the best version of you. That's like me going up to Freddie Mercury and saying, how do I sing like you? And the answer is, well, you can't. You don't have the vocal cords, you don't have the mouth shape. So it's like, I can never be another version of somebody else, but I could say, Freddie, how do you have such charisma on stage? How do you have the confidence? There's some attribute or element that everybody will have that you can emulate and that will benefit you. But it's really identifying what strengths they have and where that's a weakness to you and how you can partner up. So I've always looked to identify people that maybe had a characteristic or a skill that I seem to lack. And then it was approaching them and saying, you seem amazing at this. How can I become better at that? And I've been on both sides of the table of that, obviously, both trying to grow in my own capacity as a leader and also helping mentor others.
Our next honoree provided foresight in his company's Journey to 50 plan and set them on a strong path for growth by smart investing and saving. He is also implemented through capital planning and stress tests, ensuring that his company is prepared for any financial situations that may arise. Please welcome Chad Curtis, CFO and EVP of Mountain America Credit Union.
I joined Allied Electric Sign and Awning a little over 20 years ago and have done a lot of different things to grow the company, to make things more efficient. So from an accomplishments standpoint, I believe that Allied does things a little bit differently than other sign companies might, and that makes them a little more profitable and efficient in the way they do things. My strategy and vision for the company has been, I have a tendency to play off of other success stories. Thomas Edison said that success is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. I'm one to jump in and work with the guys out in the shop to help build things, to explain different processes, to make things more efficient, and I've just been hands-on all these years. My advice to up-and-coming leaders in industry would be to do just that, to work alongside the people, get their opinions. They'll trust you more if you have that personal relationship. In today's world, there's a lot about AI or artificial intelligence, and I feel that there's more to being human, to having human intelligence involved. And so be good to the people, have heart, and have that personal touch to work alongside them.
Our next honoree serves on multiple industry boards and councils, worked with state lawmakers to pass business-friendly legislation, and leverages his bilingualism to lead team members across his organization. Congratulations and welcome to the stage, Randy George, VP of Operations for Allied Electric Sign and Awning.
Probably one of the largest challenges that I've had was back in 2015. At that time, we were highly leveraged in the oil and gas industry. The market that we were working in dried up really fast, and a lot of the contracts that we had were put on hold. And my brother and I that I work with, we had a decision to make, like, how are we gonna pivot, turn? And it really was like turning a cruise ship, but we structured out the markets that we're going to move into in our long-term strategic plan, and then just held like a compass, just held north. Like, even when we felt that we should pivot because there was an easy street, we took the hard road, and it made us stronger. I look back now and I wouldn't ever change any of that, because there was some resiliency through that, and it taught us a lot of hard life lessons, and it really positioned us for where we are today with a lot of diversity and working in a lot of different markets and regions in the country. I don't know if we would have stretched out and made those moves if we hadn't have went through that hardship.
Our next honoree has driven growth through operational excellence and strategic expansion, including 2 major acquisitions last year. Under his operational command, his company completed the Steinecker Service Canal project in Vernal, Utah, which featured the installation of a groundbreaking 78-inch high-density polyethylene pipe, the largest diameter ever manufactured and installed in the U.S. Please join me in a round of applause for the COO of BHI, Brett Haslam.
I love being a mentor. I think it's one of the most important things that executives can do is nurture the next generation of talent. I've been blessed with really great mentors in my life, and I love to be able to extend that further to the future generations. I find it to be just a critical part of what I am here to do. And for new executives and up-and-coming executives, I really recommend you find the very best people that you can surround yourself with. Look for people who are there for you and who can encourage you, and those are the people that are going to really mean something to you further down the line. I think the thing that gets me most excited is just the development of people and helping my team, my company, others grow and thrive and find success. Honestly, the business world, the industries that we support, the technologies, these are going to change, but the fundamental premise of helping other people is fundamental to who I am, and hopefully will be the legacy that I stand on when I'm finished.
Our next honoree led his company's marketing team to record-breaking results for the company, including an 86 increase in marketing qualified leads, over 68 million impressions through various channels, and earned media in outlets like US News and World Report, Yahoo Finance, and Forbes. Please welcome to the stage Tim Kennedy, CMO for UScience.
Success to me really looks from a firm standpoint that we're growing, that we're developing stronger and better talent, and that the newer and younger engineers that are coming through are actually better than the engineers that are leaving. At a personal level, that everyone's kind of seeing that success, and that means different things for different people, but helping them realize that everyone needs to be lifted. It needs to be a win-win-win all the way around in order for something to be successful. My approach to mentorship is really hands-on. I think that that's one of the things that I really enjoy is developing people, and honestly, I probably learn as much or more from people and while I'm mentoring as the mentorees might actually learn from me. My tendency would be to kind of push them a little further than how far they think they can go, let them fail, let them kind of feel that, understand that, because if you're doing it for them all the time, they don't really learn. You learn a lot more from the mistakes and the difficult things. Be there to pick them back up and direct them when they need to be directed, but let them find their own way to some extent.
Our next honoree has the unique ability to juggle traditional electrical engineering project scopes while championing his team to an elevated operational level. Last year, he rolled out new software firm-wide that allows the team to collaborate more efficiently on large projects. Accepting on behalf of Chris Kobayashi, President of Spectrum Engineers, please welcome to the stage Dave Weisman.
I have had so many different roles in the company. Everything from when I first started, I was in marketing, doing digital marketing. I've been the CTO. With every different role, I've just had different opportunities. I think the thing consistently through all those roles that I'm most proud of is we really have a great culture of mentorship. That's something I'm personally very passionate about, and that's something that I feel like was just kind of pervasive in the DNA of the company, and I really, really love that. It's the reason that I have been there so long, and it's the reason why I think I've had so many roles in the company is just that ability to kind of contribute to something that is so much bigger than what you are individually. My philosophy for leadership and management is to find people who are smarter than me, invest in them, and then clear the path for them. If I think about the things that I am most proud of, they are people. I felt like I was able to help along their way, identify the talent, identify the skills they have, and really see what their potential is, and then help them achieve that potential and really change, the direction of their life and put them on a better path.
I want to break script for just a minute. I hope you'll indulge me. About 10 years ago, I cold reached out to Amy on LinkedIn. I was at another job and I was like, I need advice. And she was like, let's meet for lunch. And she gave me her whole playbook. So what she says about mentoring, it's not just lip service. She's been doing it forever. Our next honoree has served in various leadership positions at 1-800-CONTACTS with a versatility that has allowed her to lead from the front in digital marketing, revenue, technology, and customer experience. She now heads up a new business unit projected to surpass 1-800-CONTACTS within the next decade. Her CEO says he wants to clone her. Please give a warm welcome to Amy Larson, President of New Business at Sequel.
Starting LBT was one of the greatest achievements of my career thus far. Being able to be there from the very beginning, just a few of us scrapping it along. We had started businesses before, we knew kind of what we were getting into, but just being able to all be in there, step up when we had to help each other out. And as a team, we were able to kind of rise up and we built a very successful business that continues to grow and continues to be successful. So, being able to watch that growth from, the garage to where we are today has been quite fulfilling, especially with all the failures I've had before that. As an entrepreneur, you probably lose more than you win. So it's always good to win one every now and then. My wife and I, we're very passionate about, this next chapter in our lives. I've been doing this entrepreneurial thing for 25, 30 years. It's time to start looking at other endeavors that I can give back to. It'll start with, a lot of this philanthropic and giving back to these autism and epilepsy and, these other types of foundations we really believe in.
Our next honoree developed a series of innovations, including several patented cutting-edge technologies, and created an entirely new industry in off-grid remote video surveillance. His team of 80-plus experts solves complex technical problems, and more than 94% of Fortune 100 retailers now use these security solutions. A big round of applause to LVT's CTO, Steve Lindsay.
I learned early on that I need to listen. And I think my gut reaction initially as I was younger in my career was not to listen. And especially now in my new role with Tab Bank, I manage a number of different and diverse departments. And I have to rely on these individuals, my direct reports, to help me understand the issues that they're running into. So listening is incredibly important. And as much as I want to just throw out my opinion, I really need to listen. And I think it's served me well, probably not only in my career, but in my personal life. My most significant achievement in life, first and foremost, have to be my two daughters. I hope I've raised them to be very strong individuals. Work-wise, I think my most significant achievement is starting out in public accounting, being able to pivot after sticking around to receive my CPA, and then finding a career that I really enjoyed. I feel like I'm wildly lucky in having found a career that for many years I've enjoyed what I've done and I've enjoyed the people I've worked with.
Our next honoree spearheaded a transformative project over the last 24 months that cut 3 to 5 days off the closing process time for asset-based loans. She uses her 30 years of experience and her MBA from Duke University to mentor the next generation of finance professionals. Please give a warm welcome to the Chief Credit Officer at Tab Bank, Terry Lintz.
I would say my most significant career achievement came during COVID. When COVID hit, we didn't know exactly what to do, I think not only as a company, but as individuals. But we knew we had access to a ton of different data, and we had the technology to be able to distribute that data. And so we built a couple of different solutions, one for governors to use across the nation, and another one that was publicly facing. And it was really neat to see that being used by critical organizations to not only help those organizations, but also save lives. It's been amazing to live in Utah. I grew up here, moved away, came back, and to be able to come back and be able to contribute in a meaningful way from a business standpoint has been awesome. I think the future is bright. I think for our organization, there's a lot of growth that we're going to experience. One of the things I'm passionate about is women in the workplace, and specifically in tech. So the ability to influence and create an environment where more women can come into tech and feel comfortable and add that diversity into that space has been something that I focused on.
Our next honoree built his company's first ever internal analytics organization and has been running it ever since. One of his team's most impactful projects, Domo for CEOs, gives leaders real-time visibility into the financial state of their organization, helping them identify risks before they become problems. Please welcome to the stage Domo's Chief Analytics Officer and SVP of Customer Success, Mark Mon.
I've defined success really by the people you get to work with. It takes so much of your time, put your heart and soul into a company, but to have people that have that same level of commitment, that bring a high level of work ethic, intelligence, creativity, it's just a lot of fun to have around, and it makes going to work a blast. I think mentorship is one of the most important things you can do in more senior roles. And I think the biggest mistake that people can make sometimes is trying to dictate exactly how someone's going to get through their career. I think the biggest thing you can do is let people find themselves, work on what they're good at, and kind of help refine that, as opposed to say, here's how I did it, you should do it exactly that way. And in that mentorship, it really becomes a two-way street too, because you get to see how someone younger, creative, things like that can actually help you further yourself as well. So keeping it a two-way street and really empowering people to do what they do best.
Our next honoree used his strategic expertise to program his firm's trading platform, leading to a 13x increase in trading for portfolio rebalancing and a staggering 39x boost in frequency without the need to expand the investments team. Join me in a round of applause for Cormac Murphy, the Chief Investment Officer of Adams Wealth Advisors.
I think probably one of the most significant achievements in my career that at least I'm most proud of is the support of women. Equality in Utah has been dead last for the last 5-6 years running. And when I became the COO of Capita, I realized I had a little bit of a platform to try to help, to see if I could help improve that. What I've learned is it's best to start within the walls of your own company. And if I could inspire women to do that, that's what I would want to see happen in Utah. And then it expands from within the walls of your company to then your community, and then hopefully throughout the whole state. And I've seen a lot of progress and a lot of improvement, and so I feel like the trajectory for women in business in Utah is really good. In a leadership role, I think the most beautiful part of that is that if you're rising to help those around you rise with you, that it's a spirit of abundance, that it's like, hey, if I rise, you rise. If I succeed, you succeed. And I feel like I've tried to do that really hard at Capita. I oversee 5 or 6 departments, kind of my portion of the company, and all of my department heads actually happen to be women. Recently, I nominated 2 of them to hopefully become partners at Capita, and both were accepted. So we have 2 new women partners at Capita, which is great.
Our next honoree is known for nurturing a company culture of care and appreciation. Not only has she helped grow her firm's asset under management to $1.5 billion, she has mentored colleagues and successfully recommended them for partnership. Please welcome to the stage COO and Managing Partner of Capita Financial Network, Cassie Myers.
Success to me is getting outside of my comfort zone and achieving something that I didn't think I was able to achieve. One of my most significant achievements was actually earning my Spartan trifecta. It's so fun. It's actually like what I live for. And subsequently completing a bunch of obstacle course races after that, continuously improving my PR, actually placing really well in the open category. And what that's taught me, it's this mindset that I've carried through life because of that. There's a way past any obstacle, over, under, through, or by asking for help. I'm very proud of earning my Spartan trifecta in and of itself, but I'm also really proud of the mindset that I've developed because of that. I feel like if I can push myself outside of my comfort zone or surround myself with people who stretch me, have me go outside of my comfort zone where they know I'm able to do something that I can achieve it, and have that confidence in me is what success is. And being able to answer to myself at the end of the day that I put my best into whatever it is that I'm doing.
Our next honoree is not just a part of the Division of Outdoor Recreation, she is its backbone. Her team says her ability to manage complex projects, lead with compassion, and maintain a positive can-do attitude under pressure has been instrumental in their division's success. Please welcome to the stage Utah Division of Outdoor Recreation's Deputy Director of Operations, India Nielsen.
I am a big believer in how do we empower others around us, and I believe that we do that together. I have this philosophy of we're better together, and that means that every single person in our organization or in our company has a different perspective on things. And so how do we bring people together to help lead and guide the conversations that we want to have? And I think that's usually the best way that we can get to the best outcomes that we want to have. I think that when I first started in leadership, that was not the way that I did things. I think because I was trying to figure out what was my role and how do I take that on as this young, female in a very male-dominated industry. Because I was in the ski industry, I was more like a dictator. And so I think that what I'm most proud of is this ability to shift that concept, to be able to say, okay, how can we use kindness and hospitality, quite honestly, to help guide people to the places that we want to get them to. I'm a big believer that you just have to show up. I've been given so many opportunities in my young life. At the age of 21, I was traveling with the 2002 Olympic Torch Relay as a spokesperson. And the reason why I got that is because it was kind of the next man up. I withdrew from my senior year of college, and I was out traveling the entire entire country, being the spokesperson for the Olympics. And so that can be quite intimidating. But I believe that if we always show up and just say, okay, here I am, what can I do and how can I learn? That's what gets us to those places that we want to be.
In February, our next honoree planned and executed one of the nation's first urban ski-joring events. I probably said that wrong. The inaugural Salt Lake Winter Roundup in partnership with Days of 47 Rodeo and Salt Lake County. Experts and partners blanketed West Temple with 60 dump trucks full of snow. It drew a crowd of nearly 10,000 people and has been touted as one of the most impactful events for business downtown since pre-COVID. Congratulations, and welcome to the stage, Krista Perry, Chief Development Officer at Visit Salt Lake.
Joining Utah Valley University in March of 2020 was pretty historic, and do that with COVID, a university that has tens of thousands of students, and going online in a matter of a week was a great feat. And those things don't happen with one person, they happen as a team. And this is where people came together and they do it for students, and that's what we're about at Utah Valley University. It's a pretty purpose-driven place. I'm still learning, but it was an opportunity to dive right in, get to work, roll up your sleeves, and be part of an amazing team that is doing things for students who are worth doing wonderful things for. And what guides my strategic thinking and decision-making would probably be just starting out with a big picture, understanding that and helping to articulate that in a way that people can get excited about, that they can see themselves being part of, and that you all get there together and celebrate the success together.
Since our honorees' arrival at UVU, the university has seen 9% growth in enrollment, an increase in reputational scores, and a 29% increase in individuals willing to donate to UVU. A big round of applause for Utah Valley University's Chief of Staff and VP of Marketing and Communications, Kara Schneck.
The thing that I look forward to the most is the opportunity to continue to have an impact, whether that be on the people around me, on the company I'm working for, the community where I live. I feel like I have had so many great opportunities to have that impact in the past, especially working for a company like Rio Tinto. I feel like we have just such a responsibility to the community and such an opportunity to improve the state and the cities where we live. As an executive with Rio Tinto, I feel like I've had a really unique opportunity to help influence the way that the Salt Lake Valley continues to grow and change. Rio Tinto owns a lot of land in the Salt Lake Valley, and to have had the opportunity to help influence new opportunities for recreation in the West Side, and how are we going to continue to provide housing, and what demographics are we going to try to accommodate with that housing. And it's just been a really incredible opportunity to be able to have an influence on how things look in Salt Lake City 20 and 30 years from now.
Our next honoree improved air quality in the Salt Lake Valley by helping to take a coal-fired power plant offline. She facilitated a water rights lease to increase the state's access to water for the long-term health of the Great Salt Lake. She entered into a long-term lease agreement in Butterfield Canyon to provide recreational space for the underserved west side of the Salt Lake Valley. And she spearheaded the annexation of 2,200 acres of Rio Tinto's undeveloped land to South Jordan City. Accepting the award on behalf of Nicole Carlisle Squires, Rio Tinto's U.S. Chief Counsel, please welcome to the stage Talman Sumberzel.
I feel very grateful to be a leader here in Utah and very grateful for the platform that my roles as a sales leader here in Utah has given me. I've actually been able to leverage my role to ultimately give back. Being of Polynesian descent of Hawaiian and Japanese and Chinese ancestry and Filipino, I think it's really important to give back. And here in Utah, with such a deep Pacific Islander and Asian community, been able to be involved in the Utah Polynesian Professional Group, where we have almost 1,000 people that gather every month to get mentored, to get coached on how to do better interviews, to get into so many different industries and to move their careers forward. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I've had to be able to give back within the Utah community. I have a unique approach to mentorship and to aspiring leaders. I've always had this philosophy that you don't need a title to lead. And what I mean by that is anyone at any time can take a step forward as a leader. And it's always been a thing that I've lived by and preach, that you don't need a title to lead.
Our next honoree's colleagues praised him for his distinct ability to anticipate market trends and capitalize on emerging opportunities. They say his forward-thinking approach and strategic foresight trickled down into his development goals and efforts for his sales team, and have ultimately enabled the company to stay ahead of the curve and maintain its competitive edge. Joining me on the stage is Lucid's SVP of Sales, Keith Tanaka.
I have the opportunity to do a lot of mentoring and development. In addition to Job Nimbus, I've used my experience to teach at BYU. So I teach in the MBA program. I'm an adjunct professor there. And in addition to teaching a class once a year, a lot of the students reach out to me for advice, mentoring, development, and they're aspiring executives. And most of them stay or want to stay in Utah, which has been really fulfilling to see that growth of kind of the next generation of executives. Challenges I've had to overcome, I really think it's a lot of self-doubt. Imposter syndrome is something I think all of us deal with at some element, but it's very vulnerable to admit that. And I even remember I was in a vice president position and I've been doing it for multiple years, and then all of a sudden questioned, should I really be here? Should I be doing this, even though I had been doing it for a number of years? And so just having the confidence that I can do it and that I have the ability, and looking at the impact that I've made, and then getting really invigorated by the impact that I could make in the future. One of my most significant achievements, I really don't consider an individual specific thing. I look at people that have been on my team or that have reported to me that have become executives, founders, CEOs. I feel like I had some little piece in helping contribute to that. And that really brings me a lot of satisfaction and joy and happiness.
Our next honoree has navigated a remarkable financial turnaround, transforming EBITDA from negative 45% to a positive 3%. Under his leadership, revenue soared from 17 million to 48 million, while also reducing customer churn. He was also instrumental in orchestrating 3 acquisitions. Please join me in a round of applause for our final honoree of the afternoon, the COO of Job Nimbus, Johnny Waddell. Thanks to all of you for being here with us to celebrate these inspiring honorees. To our honorees, thank you for the work you have done to elevate companies and causes in our state. You represent the best of us, and we're grateful for your service. Now, please welcome back Burke Olson, publisher of Utah Business.
We learned a lot inside of an hour. I always walk away from these events inspired as a leader and as a colleague to do better. And so thank you for the great comments that we saw in your videos, for being here, and for being worthy of the celebration that we were able to throw in your honor for today. Before you leave, we have just a few housekeeping items. For comprehensive and timely updates about upcoming Utah business events like this, as well as local business news, please subscribe to our daily email newsletter by scanning the QR code on your table. Also, by scanning the QR code, we will give you a complimentary 1-year subscription to Utah Business Magazine, so you can keep up with all the news and the honors that we're able to give on behalf of the Utah business community. As a reminder, your parking today is paid for, and if you didn't get a voucher, be sure to see a member of our staff on the way out the door so that you can get out of the gate without having to pay the fee. Finally, we like to do our part in recycling, so if you'd leave your name badge at your table or at the registration table, we'll pick them up on the way out. Thank you for joining us today, and congratulations again to the 2024 Executive Excellence honorees.